welcome. Live yoga is for your first time. My name is Lauren Verona and I'll be guiding you through this practice. Today's practice is all around everything that revolves, which basically means when the shoulders and the hips rotate in opposite directions. Okay? So there's quite a few of these poses that we do through the practice and they can feel at the time kind of awkward and funky because it's not a natural movement for our bodies to make. Like for example, a forward fold might be, or a back bend, right? We're kind of used to these sort of things, right? And this concept of bringing top body one direction and the bottom body the other direction is a little foreign. So we'll have a play. Come in open-minded, as you always should be doing when you come to the practice. Be ready and open for anything that comes your way. Let's make our way to the top of the mat. This is a gentle sequence. They will involve a little bit of standing and then we'll take things down onto the earth, okay? So let's just start with our feet hip width apart. I'll mirror you here and just bring some movement into the hips. So it's like this exploration of movement. Circling the hips even wider. See if you can really poke your sit bones right out and behind you. Feel that into the hamstrings. Come forwards as well. Feels a little funky doing it, and just feel into any nooks and crannies, as we like to call them. There's a nook, there's a cranny. Good. And then bring your hands up onto your shoulders and bring some movement. See if you can isolate the movement just to the upper body by keeping the hips neutral. So that way, draw the navel in towards the spine. Let's take the elbows over to the left and then over to the right. Good. Isolation. And then hug those, roll those elbows back a few times. And then forward a few times. You got the gist. Well done. Let's listen to our breaths. Bring your hands towards your heart. Inhaling deeply. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Final one like that. It's just only on the breath that we focus on. And exhale. From where you are at the front of the mat, with your next inhalation, lift the arms to the sky. As you exhale, fold down now towards the floor in a forward fold. Bring your hands onto your shins. Inhale, extend the spine long. Exhale as you fold down. Bend your knees and make your way to a modified plank position. That's where we have the knees beneath us. Take a breath in. And as you lower, bend your elbows and make your way down onto the earth. That's it. Feel your spine long. Feel your whole body long now. Inhale as we lift the chest. Exhale as we lower down. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, lower. Keep the arms active. Draw the shoulders back, inhaling. Exhale, back down. Take your right arm out wide. And as though we're swimming, take your left arm all the way overhead. Again, exploring that range of movement and motion in your body. Swim right arm over. Return the hands, tuck the toes. Lift to your knees. Hands come to slide so they're directly beneath the shoulders. Inhale, up cat. Exhale, round the spine, let the head just hang. We call this cat-cow or up cat, down cat. Inhale, lift again. Draw your heart forward. Exhale as you release. So the heart just beams up towards the ceiling with this round. And again. And exhale. You can untuck the toes here. That was just a fun little stretching for the feet.
Let's swivel our hips from side to side now. So it's this side to side movement. And then as we bring the hips to one side, can you take your gaze to the opposite side? Look back. Swapping sides, gaze back, hips opposite direction. All right. Tuck the toes. Walk your hands all the way back. And come now down to a low kneel. Your breath is deep. Bring your right hand forwards and your left arm back. Take the arms up towards the sky, similar to swimming arms. And exhale, swap directions. Arms come back down to the floor. We circle them wide. Stay on the right side. Inhale, lift. Turn to face the front, over to the left. Circle them back down. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale the arms. Swap, exhale. Inhale up. Swap to exhale. Well done. So you can see just in doing that, can't you? The amount of opening that's required into the shoulders. Let's introduce some in here now. So untuck the toes. Bring your elbows over your shoulders and bring your hands in toward each other. Thumbs draw down towards your spine, navel draws in, deep breath in. And then exhale as we take this position exactly down onto the earth in our child's pose, but with the elbows pressing down into the floor. Extend your left arm long and see if you can walk it out in front of you. Lift your hips, allow for the left arm to walk even further. And slide your right arm underneath you for thread the needle pose and rest your head down onto the earth. Important here that you're releasing and alleviating any tension through the neck and the spine. That's why we rest the head. You might even feel okay today to take your gaze up towards the ceiling. Revolving here. Slowly we make our way out of the pose. Back into child's pose. Right arm extends this time. Lift the hips, reach the right arm. Now the left goes underneath and the head to the floor. Slowly from here, one final breath in and release. From your knees, we're coming into revolved low lunge. So step your left foot in between your hands, and here you can use your hands to support the foot coming through. Okay? And then take your right hand across the body to the outside of the left foot. See how that feels. And that might be enough for some of us. You might instead prefer it inside the foot, yogi's choice. And then start to lift this left hand now, either to the sacrum, or you can extend it to the sky like our swimming arms we've been working on. Now with your gaze, you can keep it down at your left foot, or start to open it up to the left, or extend your gaze to the ceiling with the top hand. Opening through the shoulders. Take a final breath in. Release the hand back down to the floor. Well done. While we're here, let's take a beautiful low lunge. Maybe even sliding that right knee back. Stay on the hands or lift the hands to the thigh or to the sky. This is a gentle practice designed to be gentle on your body, kind to your soul. Ahimsa is kindness in yoga, one of the yamas and niyamas that make up one of the 8 limbs of yoga. 8 aspects, if you like. 8 laws, 8 elements of yoga. One of them, would you believe, is the physical practice. Just one of those 8. All right, come back to all fours. In between rounds, let's do up cat, down cat. We did this before. Inhale, look up. I like it to reset and realign the breath and the body. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Neutral spine. Right hand can support right foot coming through. And then we either leave the left hand as it is or walk it over outside the right foot. Good. Staying here. Engage the legs. Possibly bringing your right hand to the sacrum. But whatever you do, whichever variation you choose, keep trying to draw the navel and the chest towards the right and keep encouraging the right shoulder to lift towards the ceiling. Extending through the top arm perhaps, maybe taking the gaze with you, maybe looking towards the top hand. If you're a little wobbly on your legs, then just engage the thighs. So draw them in toward each other, keep your navel drawing back in towards the spine as well. All these elements will assist you to remain still, somewhat, in the practice. Deep breath in before releasing the hands and coming to enjoy the low lunge. The hip will enjoy this. Move yourself forward, lower the left back knee and perhaps bring it back as well. Smooth and steady breaths make for a smooth and steady practice, and that can even filter out into our lives as we take the smooth steadiness into the world with us. Fluid-like movements, fluid-like life. Yeah, we're all trying to create this flow state. Starts here, starts the practice. All right, release, come back to all fours. Well done. Hands beneath you. Inhale up, look up. Exhale, round. Look down. Down and back even. Let the head just hang here. So there's no tension whatsoever through the neck. Reach your hands out in front of you. Tuck the toes under. Support yourself back to downward dog. Pedaling out through the feet. So please feel free to do this variation on your knees. We're coming into what I call revolved dog, but we could also call it revolved all fours. And you may also like to shorten your dog stance here so that your left leg is a little more accessible as you reach your right hand back toward it now. So the right hand can reach for the left thigh somewhere, to the left calf somewhere, to the heel or the outside blade of the foot, and then turn the gaze as you look underneath the left arm and keep pressing the heels in towards the floor. Draw the navel in, opening and breathing. And that will be our 3 breaths. It's quite a strong one, but it's going to give you all that beautiful opening through the shoulders. Okay, so now it's the left hand's turn to reach for the right thigh, calf, heel, or you're still on all fours and you've swapped arms over and left hand for right thigh. Peekaboo, perhaps underneath the right arm. Your breath is deep and consistent, fluid-like breaths. Wherever you are, we're making our way to a forward fold at the front of the mat. If you're in dog, you'll step up. And if you're in all fours, please feel free to come up in the way that suits your body in this moment. Gentle, loving kindness. Inhale, extend long into the spine. Exhale as you fold, brush and reach. Arms extend towards the sky. And then bring your hands through your heart. Beautiful work. Okay, so we're going to revolve from standing position now. You may like to use the support of a wall that's around you. Feel free to do that, please. Bring your right hand over to your left knee.
And see if you can lift that left knee up so it's in line with the hip. Right hand to the left knee. Again, draw the thighs toward each other, draw the navel in, and bring your left hand behind you. So here we are, opening, right? Through the shoulder, through the pec, through the chest, internal, external obliques work here. Take a final breath in. Maybe extend that back arm for a little challenge. And then return. Let's swap legs now. Left hand for the right knee. Good. Right hand just resting on the sacrum. Twisting, drawing the navel to the right now, your gaze to the right. Maybe extending your arm back and long behind you. And release. Well done. We have one final standing pose that's revolved before we make our way back down to the floor. But feel free to come to the earth now if you would prefer. Step your right foot back about a stepping distance away from the front left. About a stepping distance away. And take your feet as wide as your hips, I'm going to recommend for this variation. Now, notice your hips, yeah? We want to square them off. The body will want to bring left hip forward and right hip back here. It's going to want to do that because when we fold forward, we're going to feel a stretching to the hamstring, which will immediately want us to protect and draw back. But remember, we're aiming to get a hamstring stretch, so we keep the hips square. So look at your hips. I would notice them the whole way down. So the leg that's in front is left, so bring your left hand to the sacrum, okay? There we are. You can extend that arm once we go into the pose. I'll show you in just a moment. Right arm extends to the ceiling, which really assists with the extension through the spine, okay? That's the purpose of a lot of this practice, is to create space through the spine. So let's fold down only halfway here. You're reaching through the fingers. Engage through the legs, keep as much of a bend in that left knee. And then let's take a new breath here, like we're at the halfway point. And then exhale and bring your hand to the shin. There we are, well done. Now, can you take your gaze out to the left a little, maybe completely, maybe to the sky? This left hand that's resting on the sacrum can also lift towards the sky. We call this revolved triangle. You're doing so well. It's our final standing and rather challenging pose, may I add. Take a new breath in. And let's release by bringing the gaze to the floor and the hands back to those squared hips of ours and extend long. Good. Step up. Right foot comes to the front. Your left foot takes a step back. Still wide stance. And only the short stepping stance, distance away. That means the right hand this time will come to the sacrum. Focus out in front of you. Assist with the balancing and the stilling with a drishti. Inhale, rise. Active through the core, active through the legs. Exhaling, slowly coming down through. Remember, we're going to the halfway point again. Breathe it in, nurture yourself. A little final breath in, and then exhale. Here we go, coming down along for the shin. And then we start to twist. Really press the feet into the earth. Draw the right shoulder back. Take the gaze off to the right, perhaps, or to the sky. Maybe extending into the right arm. Accepting exactly where your body is at in this twist, in this challenging hip and shoulder revolve action. Release both hands, look forwards. Use the core to come up, yeah? Feel like you're active and then you lift up. Well done. Stepping to the top of the mat. We're coming down to the floor. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Rise on the in-breath. Exhale. Make your way down to your knees. Lower down. Exhale. Rise in the in-breath. Cobra. Exhale. Come onto your knees. And yogis, we're coming back to this pose, but with one leg extended, and we call it one-legged hero pose. Lengthening out your left leg, and then take a seat so you're inside your right heel. You're sitting inside it. If you have blocks, bolsters, another mat, any cushions, you might like to support yourself and sit on top of that. So here we are, moving to a forward fold with shortly an option to revolve and twist. Let's start with extending the arms to the sky. Well done. And then just tilt from your hips. And this may be all you get to today. So to stay here, to take the twist, bring your left hand behind you, and then take the gaze out to the left. Any further would be reaching that right hand down long for the foot, maybe to the shin. Taking the gaze out, breathing nice and deep. Let's come out of the revolve aspect and take our arms back out in front and tilt down. Enjoy this hamstring stretch. So it's just a forward fold now. Hands can rest either side of the leg. You can fold down, bringing the chest down to the thigh. Three more deep breaths. We know our twists are beautiful for vital organ health. They really assist us in purifying the system. So well done today. Come on up and out. Let's give this right leg a little shake out. So make our way back to the opposite side for one-legged hero pose. If this is not available to you, take your leg out wide. That should be more available to you today. Let's first prep for the fold, but take the twist before we fold. Extend the arms long. That draws the navel in. You're breathing deep. And exhale, tilting down to your degree. Then the right hand comes back. The left hand comes down along to the shin. And then this is when we start to turn the gaze and revolve. Final breath in and release. For the fold, breathe in, exhale, come down. Hands either side of the leg, tilting and folding down. Make sure you remain active through this foot. So you're actually drawing the toes in towards the face. Your knee is active. Then engage the front of the quadricep, which in effect assists in the process of lengthening the hamstring. Now we lift back up. Unfolding left leg, bringing the legs out in front of you, and windscreen wiping. You know, all this swimming arms we've been doing, we'll do it once again here from a forward fold. You may like to bend your knees in so they're closer to you today. Take your left hand across for your right foot.
Take your right hand behind you, swimmer open. Come over to the opposite foot and then slide that left hand out. Over it goes, swimming arm. And you got the gist. Off you go, swimming, folding. Work with your breath. So really as you're sweeping that arm up, there's a big inhale, and then we exhale to fold under. A few more times, yogis. And then start to bring yourself up, right. And let's come now down onto our backs. Take your time to come down. Hands or forearms will bring you to the earth. Slowly rolling down onto the earth. Hug your knees in towards your body. Maybe you'll benefit from ankle rotation here. My ankles are enjoying that today. Take your right leg over your left. And then take your hands onto those shins and encourage the legs in with the strength of your arms in towards your chest. In yoga, we're bringing back union of the mind, body and spirit. Okay, we're returning to the natural state that we're born in, and that is our natural state to be in balance. So if we're bringing it back, ask yourself, how else may I serve? What else do I need to do? What do I need to let go of? And you always feel like you're just adding that little bit more into your practice by giving yourself more opportunities of stillness. Let's swap the legs over now. The left coming all the way over the right. The hands coming back onto the shins. The legs drawing in towards you. Slowly release the legs, uncross them, and take the knees that are now feeling like they're glued together, and that's activity from the core that will give you that sensation, and let them fall over to the left. Your arms then come out wide and your gaze comes over to the right. Hips and shoulders moving in opposite directions. Shoulder benefiting with some opening, neck stretching out through back of the left side. Base of the spine twisting, glute stretching. And also gives us a chance to release into these abdominal muscles. Let's breathe in, return the legs, and breathe out to take them over to the right. Take your arms wide still and take the gaze to the left.
Beautiful. Return the knees back in towards you and give them a hug in. That was a lot of revolving today. It's excellent to see you and sense you really moving your bodies with me and exploring your range of movement, mobility and motion that's so uniquely different each and every day. From where you are, let's make our way into legs up the wall pose as our inversion, and then we'll come back, meeting on our mats, seated or laying down for Shavasana, our meditation part of the class. If you'd like, perhaps choose to come into your meditation now. You don't need to join us for the inversion, but I find this pose very restorative. If you have any other variations you'd like to do, then by all means, please make your way into them and treat it like a bit of a freestyle time of class. If you're coming to take your legs up the wall, let me give you a little tip. And the tip is to take your hips up first. So they've got to touch the wall. Then the legs extend. Then you swivel around and lay down on your backs. Just like that. And this pose, if you're in legs up the wall with me, allows for drainage of lymph nodes, that just lymph fluid can just come down along the legs, which is why sometimes it feels like the feet can feel a little bit numb. And you might want to contribute to that by bringing some movement to the feet and to the toes. Slowly, yogis, make your way out of this divine pose. Come back onto your mats, maybe choosing to come upright in a seat or laying down on your backs. And we'll be here for the next few minutes. So ideally you want to get into a comfortable stance. The practice of meditation is unique and individual to each and every one of us. Each time we attempt or sit with our thoughts. And we sit with our thoughts and observe them. They say trying to stop our thoughts is like trying to stop a natural disaster or the ocean's waves from rolling in. We're not forcing, and we're not stopping, and we're not suppressing. We are all embracing, but we're observing the thoughts that come in and out, and we're creating longer durations of space between them. Yeah? You know how there's these little pauses sometimes? I had a few pauses in Legs Up the Wall, actually, just pockets of nothingness. They're the pockets that we want to expand on. Okay? So in your practice today, see if you can gift yourself with perhaps a glimpse, a pause of stillness. Wouldn't that be a treat? I always come with zero expectation. So let's get our bodies comfortable for such a practice. Upright, support around you, cushions, bolsters. However is comfortable for you to be in this space for the next few minutes. You may like to lie down your back, so I'll bring you out and roll you back up so you don't fall asleep, okay? And just drifting into La La Land with your breath that's deep and rhythmic. Breath comes in like a wave and out again like a wave going back out to sea. Inhaling. Full breaths here. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhale. All of the body in a deep state of rest, restoring, returning to equilibrium. Each breath harmonizing. wherever you are. Be here and still just for a few more breaths. Drinking in these last few moments of stillness. Finding something, one thing to be grateful for as you start to come back. Back into this space. Yogis, bring some movement to your fingers, to your toes, to your wrists, to your ankles. If you're laying down, start to roll to your preferred side as you join us for a seat. But do take your time to come back. What an honor it is to be here in this practice with each and every one of you. What an honor to share this beautiful practice that keeps me going, thriving and alive. I'm so grateful. In the days I don't feel like doing yoga, I still arrive. I still do something on my mat, and I always benefit greatly from just moving. Pay attention to your words today. Pay attention to what you are consuming energetically, maybe in your food intake, your water intake. Look after you. It starts with us. An honor to be in this practice. Thank you so much for pressing play to connect with all of us around the world who are practicing together. Namaste. Be sure to check out when the next live class is, and as always, jump online and check out the library. There's so much content over there. And if you have feedback, if you have any requests, comments or suggestions, then do post them through to us, please. Bye everyone.